Hi everybody and welcome back to the final part of Sonic Adventure 2. So yeah, last part we started to head through the final level of the game, and well, I couldn't finish it in time. We've just got fuck, what's going on? There we go. We just got Sonic's section of the level left to go, and I'm gonna die. There you go. We've only got Sonic's section to go, and yeah, Sonic's section is probably the most fun part. But it is a bit of a pain in the ass as well. Like the section there, which I really didn't fucking like. There was a section there which I really didn't like, where basically you saw the dude there that was the chaos that was down there. Shit. And basically you have to attack him and then kind of do a complete 180 and go the opposite direction, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, I'm kind of fucking up here. What you want to do is drop down here, spin underneath, and bounce up here. And there we go. Sonic section is probably the most fun. This, you can die here, home and attack up, get to the other side of it, and boom, you're fine now. Also, this is kind of cool. It's kind of like a from the Lost World portion of Sonic Adventure 1. It's kind of a similar aesthetic, which I kind of like. Kind of brings the two games together a bit closer, which I kind of like. And that's it. We're done. Sonic. That's the final level. Sonic Adventure 2 done. 2 more boss fights and we're finished. That's an E rank. Yeah, I suck at that. I mean, I died so many fucking times. I think I died the most to Tails and also Sonic. I died about 2 or 3 times as Sonic. But Tails' section was what really fucked me over. Anyway. That was so out of nowhere. Maybe it's a problem with my thing, but I would have thought it'd be better to put some music in here, but I guess not. Doesn't sound very good. The walking animations do look really fucking terrible. What kind of position were her legs in there? She was twisting herself up.
Besides, there's no way to save anyone.
Ah, emo shadow. Just what we need. Even the people who shoot his granddaughter, I mean, you know, they're good as well in their own way, I think. That's a terrible picture of the Earth, by the way. This is a major ass pull as well. You know, that for the whole game, his Shadow's been trying to work out and trying to remember what Maria said to him about what she wanted him to do. And it's just now, right at this moment, that he finally remembers. Oh yes, she didn't want me to destroy the world. She wanted me to save people and give them a chance, give them the chance to be happy. That's what she wanted. And it's just like, really? You remember that now? That was a terrible teardrop.
I have to keep my promise to Maria and
Diggy diggy dig. I love that running animation. Is terrible. So yeah, Shadow's in the game now, I guess. Look at those balls. So yeah, the Chaos Emeralds are here, which I don't really get. I mean, are they actually Chaos Emeralds? I don't think they are. I think they might be replicas. Because I think the Chaos Emeralds are actually in the main control panel of the Ark, so can't really be down here. Yeah, he's still talking, apparently. So yeah, time for the second to last boss fight of the game. Look at that yawn. Look at that roar. This is the Biolizard. Biolizard, this is the prototype of the Ultimate Life Form, which, yeah, I'll say it again. How the fuck Joe Robotnik went from, you know, big giant lizard to, like, small black hedgehog as the Ultimate Life Form, I don't really know. So yeah, now we have a boss fight as Shadow. And it's the only thing he does in before the true final boss, the Biolizard. Okay, I will say this. This boss fight is a bit of a pain in the ass. Don't want to fall in there because it can drag you out, and then the flow can drag you out, and that is instant death. And you also have to try and kind of stay close to the head, but not too close that he can grab you. And so you want to kind of be moving quickly enough that he doesn't catch up to you, but at the same time not so fast that you have to then that then the tail he starts to reverse his trajectory, and then the tail comes into play. So yeah, now I start shooting these. When they're the higher ones, you want to roll. Shit. When it's the ones along the ground, you want to jump over that shit. And I'm doing terrible. Yeah. Basically, the more you get hit, the longer the section plays out for. So if you don't get hit, so you know, the less you get hit, the quicker those things, those sections, you know, the shorter amount of time those sections take. So yeah, you want to stay close to him, and then when he stops, get a decent distance away, jump over everything, jump, jump. There you go. And now because of that, the section ends quicker, and now we can blow him up. So I think at this point we've got 2/3 of his health down. I think we've got to do this one more time. This particular section. I'll be honest, this is the boss I died the most times to. I died like a good 7 or 8 times because I struggle with him. He's just a little bit too difficult. I mean, that's the thing about him. He's not ridiculously hard. I just find it a little bit difficult to dodge these things. I also find it a bit of a pain to kind of stay in line with his head so he doesn't reverse. Now what you want to do is home and attack these things to get to the get up there and destroy him. And now we've got to do that one more time before he moves on to the final phase of his boss fight. So yeah, you have to kind of stay within range, stay close enough. Then when he stops, get a decent amount away, dodge. Just keep dodging. See, that was me being a dumbass. My apologies. And now it's repeat it again. Oh, the homing attack's freaking out again. Boom. Now we're on to the last hit. I don't think you have to run away from him this time. No, he just automatically sends you up. And so what you need to do now is you just need to avoid all the balls and homing attack, and boom, he's down. It's not ridiculously hard once you've got the patterns down, but God, it took me a while to work out. Like I said, it's probably the boss I had the most trouble with. It was the biggest pain in the ass for me personally. Alright then. This handy little slot where we can stick. There you go. His hand fits in one hand, and now it's bigger than 2 hands. Jesus Christ. How did they make that kind of error? I mean, it probably was an error. It's just bad. It's just poor. Size seems to have changed again there. That's awful. So now we're using the Master Emerald to stop the Chaos Emeralds from working. And in the end, this doesn't actually work, from what I remember. Now the Ultimate Life Form disappears.
Is it gone? Is that what chaos control is?
I think that's a mistranslation. To be honest, that line doesn't work. Well, I mean, why did you think stopping the Chaos Emeralds would stop the thing from the colony from flying towards Earth? Well, one boss fight to go. So I guess that means we're gonna have to. This Luke, Knuckles' Luke here is just terrible. This music, it's so good. So yeah, apparently the Chaos Emeralds were all down here. So I can get why Sonic would think he'd be able to go super by jerking off, apparently. But how does Shadow know you can use the Chaos Emeralds to go super? Has he done it before? It's just one of those things. Oh god, Sonic's lost all his accessories. I think this particular version of Shadow Super Sonic though is probably the best looking one. And now it's time for the final boss, the final hazard. And we end with one of the best. Oh god, I'm screwing up here. This is kind of weird to control, I'll be honest, but yeah. So here we go. And this final boss music is just awesome. Live and Learn. Still an absolutely phenomenally good track. So basically here's what you have to do. You press what is essentially the square button to go up, and it's the X button to go up and the B button to go down, I think. And so you've got to boost to kind of get yourself into the right altitude, and then make sure you're boosting when you ram into the purple fuck me spot in order to cause him damage. You have to hit him a grand total of 5 times? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. So you have to hit him 5 times. And once you've hit him 5 times, then he goes down. There is also a timer to this boss. If you don't do it within 10 minutes, I think it's 10 minutes. If you don't do it in 10 minutes, then it's automatic game over. Yeah, it's a real pain in the ass. It also tends to sometimes the areas that you've got to hit can also be a bit of a pain in the butt as well. Because you can ram into them and you'll just bounce off them for some reason. I think it's been a problem apparently since the original version on Dreamcast. Boom! There we go. We got one. Also, if you're running low on rings as Sonic or Shadow, if you want to kind of switch to the other character, then you just zoom past to the other side of the. To the other side of the. See, I bounced off there. You fly to the other side of the boss from where you are. So just fly past his head, and that allows you to switch to the other character. You shouldn't really need to do that though, unless it's absolutely 100% necessary. Like it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But the problem is as well, you can't just swap willy-nilly because there you go, boom. Because rings take time to regenerate. So be careful with that. But that's the final boss done. And yeah, I do love the final boss music here. It's so awesome. And they do it a lot better than they did it in Sonic Adventure 1, where I think they should have ended the boss with Open Your Heart, and they kind of didn't. They started the first half of the boss fight was Open Your Heart, and then it kind of went to this generic, kind of crappy song, to be honest. And so I like the fact that they just use, this song here for the whole boss fight. It's just awesome. So yeah, apparently they can use Chaos Control to stop it and put it back into orbit.
This is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
And Shadow's dead. I will say this, after what's happened with Shadow over the recent year, ever since this game, I think it just would have been a lot better if they just kept him dead. I think this was a pretty good story arc for him, which ended conclusively, and bringing him back has just made him a lame character, to be honest. So, but hey, can't be helped. And Sonic survives. Of course he survives. He's the main protagonist. He never dies. Dunno, he fucking died.
I think that the professor created him, Shadow, to carry out the revenge on all those who live here on Earth.
He was what he was.
That voice acting is terrible. Voice acting is so bad. But anyway, apparently Sonic was able to nick one of his arm rings. So, okay.
I guess you're right.
But yeah. But anyway, there you go. That's the end of Sonic Adventure 2. Pretty much, I still think it's a good game overall, but it's very fucking flawed. I think the story is, I don't know. The story itself is pretty bad and poorly put together. I mean, I would say it's not absolutely abysmal, the story. It's just, when you start to think about it, the story beats just don't make a whole lot of sense. They don't really fit together all that well. It's one of those things, it's like a kind of an action movie, sort of. You know, if you can sit there and you can sit through it and have fun if you don't really just think about it. You just so you know you can just sit through it and you can enjoy. And if you don't think about it, then you can enjoy it. But once you start to analyze it, it's a kind of poorly put together story, which has a bunch of plot holes and doesn't really fit all that well. And it's, you might say, well, it's a Sonic game, it shouldn't really have, but the fact is that they were trying to take this fucking seriously, and it was just, no, it didn't work. Didn't work at all. After saying that, in terms of the gameplay, Sonic's and Shadows levels are a lot of fun for the most part. With only maybe one or two stinkers out of the whole lot. You know, the early levels are really fun and easy to go through, while the later levels are more difficult and have more tricky platforming, which is a lot of fun to kind of try and learn how to get through. You know, and to kind of learn the level design to get through as quickly as possible. The Tails and Eggman levels are pretty fun overall. Eggman's levels are way better, but still, they are. It's fun to play as those characters, and you know, the mech shooting stages are fun enough to go through. Rouge and Knuckles are absolutely abysmal. I fucking can't stand the treasure hunting levels. They suck. I don't really understand why they couldn't have just had, and this goes for Adventure 1 as well, why they couldn't have just had Knuckles going through regular stages like Sonic, like they did in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where it was just, where Knuckles goes through, maybe you could just make them, more open levels. I don't know why they didn't bother to just be like, get to the end of the level rather than this treasure hunting bullshit, but whatever. Music is great. I think the game still looks pretty nice. I think that the models are pretty good, and overall it still has a nice look to it. Yeah, I mean, overall, Adventure 2 is one of those games, I think, where the more time goes by, the more kind of, and the more it ages, by Shadow, the more it ages, the more I kind of think that it's not, the more I play it and the more it goes through, the more I think, the lesser my opinion becomes of it. But I still think it's a pretty good game overall. And at least from the gameplay perspective, is actually a really fun fun game to play through. Story is a bit shit, and the music is great, and I still like how the game looks. It still looks good. But anyway, that's it for this part. That's it for this playthrough. Next time I go back to Sonic, I'm probably going to be doing... Sonic Colors the next time I go into Sonic, but that's not going to be the next playthrough that I do. The next playthrough I'm going to start recording is Halo Combat Evolved. That'll be the next playthrough I start putting up after this one. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next playthrough. See you next time.